Zelfon, you had a Sith Moon run with Manifold recently, and that was a great combo. Basically infinite Manifolds. The only problem is the character never found a decent weapon. Yeah, I mean, and you can kind of get around that by, you know, doing something like Storm Form or Dragon Form and Unarmed, but can definitely be rough, especially if you don't have the little bit of extra leeway you need in terms of experience to get something like Unarmed rolling. My brother and Sabak, we only have a +1 weapon. Are there no elves to kill in this land? I'm not super happy with the idea of going to elf because I have no fire resistance. So pyromancers are going to have a wee bit of a field day, I feel. Oh, son of a gun. So alluring, the call of the siren. You hate to see it. But no, don't you worry. We're eventually going to be trying to get some more forward progression going on in that regard at some point here. Also, I should have done that a lot earlier. And, broken line of sight with the siren. Whoopsie daisies. As is, this is potentially going to get a wee bit nasty. Oh gosh, there's another siren. Well, we do have Scrolls of Fog, almost said Fog of Scrolls, so we can at least break line of sight still. Alternatively, is there anything I could do to just kill everyone here? And Thalfon, your opinion on elf is usually if you're powerful enough to do elf, you're powerful enough to not need to. It's fair to a certain extent. I feel like the main reason why I go there on pretty much every run is because of the potential for good items. So even if I'm strong enough for elf, if I'm still missing, you know, like a second or third pip of fire resistance, I'm still using a basic ring, then I'll probably go and clear it just to see if I can't get some fancy artifacts. I'm a sucker for rolling the dice and seeing what goodies we're able to get out of any situation. Okay, I want both sea snakes. Perfect. Now if I die to these sea snakes, I'm gonna look like a fool, but I think we should be okay. With Vampiric Halberd, not too shabby. And how many friends do we leave behind? You might be manageable. It's a wee bit rough, but definitely not beyond comprehension there. And that is just lovely. Perfect. Let's start heading back in once more into the breach, shall we? Oh me, oh my. So many new friends. Yeah, the sea snakes are a very deceptively tough enemy for us on this character. Seems like we're having no problem with them whatsoever, and then every once in a while we just start missing a few too many shots. And that's where it all goes wrong. But let's wand of flame and get you smoked up real quick. Some steamed merfolk, steamed javelineer for your trouble. Perfect. A +3 vampiric trident. Base damage 9. That's a bit of a fall from grace going all the way down. Base damage of 9. I think we'll have to say no to that one for now, but we should double check how our skills are coming along. Polearms is getting there. It's slowly but surely making its way up to min delay for our halberd. And armor, was that just going to 14? Perfect. Armor and fighting are actually both real dang close as well. So that will be nice. Let's get the steam going in full force. One more time with feeling. And that should be just about it. In fact, yeah, let's finish you off with our sling. Perfect. And, oh me, oh my, you have a +11 spear of flame, resist poison, and willpower. Huh. I don't think I'm that tempted to swap to it. But the willpower is the only thing that potentially gets me back into the camp of using Kahas here. +11 spear, base damage of 6 sucks though, that is brutal. Definitely have a hard time justifying it one way or another. That thing would be hilariously strong on D1, wouldn't it ever? Wouldn't that have been a thing of beauty? As is, I think we're gonna have to just pass on it for now. Oh, is it Storm Dragon instead of a Titan today? Wait, that's very bad for me. Oh, my only electricity resistance is on this dang staff. Well, Divine Exegesis, what do you have to say about this problem? Death Channel doesn't work in this setup. Summon horrible things? Potentially could do the trick. Let's try it out. Just give it a shot here and see what we get. A bunch of abominations, perfect. Oh, whoops, not F, V, there we go. Oof, well, that's less than ideal. Oh, Javelineer has also joined in. That's gonna be a bit more of a nope from me, dog. Oh my gosh, abominations though, you're killing it. Keep it up. So I think the dragon is dead. I hope the dragon is dead. We still have one abomination. Do I like Scroll of Summoning? Because these double Javelineers can lay down a lot of hurt in very little time if they start to get their poop in a group and attack in formation here. I have 5 enchant armor scrolls. I should probably use those bad boys somewhere or another as well here. But back to the matter at hand. Fear might work on you kids. Do I have a rune, and have I looked in the other branch yet? Yes, we have been through all of Snake, and we did in fact grab the rune from there already. Let's just keep walking here. There we go, that's slightly better. And do I bother taking fire from both these sons of guns? At least not just directly there. We might as well head upstairs real quick. Then Hunting Sling +4 with Flame on it. Or Boost Balance of Freezing +0. I think Boost Balance is the way to go. And let's quiver our actual sling bullets for the first time in the run so far. And see if we can't melt these kiddos down to size. Definitely a good start here. And that is wonderful. Heck yeah. I'd strongly consider leaving this whole mess for later then. Probably should have. Definitely something to be said for that in terms of intelligent choices in life. And yet, I might keep trying to push it because I'm a mad lad. Let us just flame you instead. If you could please walk over here, Manticore. Thank you. That makes life a little bit easier. And now we've dealt with the most troubling sections of this sea fort, if you will. So we could just continue chomping along without too much of a care in the world. You son of a gun, Windrake. Had to make me look the fool, didn't ya? Well, that's fine. That's fine. Let's just kill all of you real quick. And not too shabby. So, still something to be said about potentially just leaving the area. Don't get me wrong. Multiple Javelineers giving me an unhealthy level of hubris and belief in myself aside. But I might just try and squeeze in here. If nobody notices me, then this is all mine. Can't carry that many items, but I definitely want to. So, what do we drop here? Stones could go. We have 200 sling bullets, so there's an argument to be made there. I think I want to keep them around just so we can kind of pepper all of our enemies from afar without too much care in the world. And so it might be the hunting sling that has to go. That's at least going to be our decision at first blush here. Let's grab this. Silence is another huge Divine Exegesis target for us. That is wonderful. And we'll probably just try and fight this dang ol' alligator snapping turtle. Perfect. And okie dokie. I mean, I'm probably not going to bother clearing the rest of this right now. It's tempting to, because I do want as many thrown consumables as I can possibly get my hands on. 17 javelins isn't quite what I'd like to see for once we get later on in the run here, but for now, let's head back out to Lair, and we'll just, I think, clear off the final floor of the area that we've left behind for later, and then we'll think about if we want to do Elf, if we want to just go back to the regular dungeon, at least finish off D15, because that's the only one left. Oh, I think this halberd counts as a bladed weapon. Welp. Mistakes were made. All four arms should let us throw harder. Imagine the coordination required to do that, though. Like, I guess maybe it's not as bad as I was thinking, because I was thinking how we normally, when you want to throw something fast, you have to do it one-handed. But like, because like throwing a javelin with two hands like that seems like it would be unreasonably difficult to do. But I guess you like throw rocks, or like overhead or underhand. Huh. It'd be a feat of dexterity for sure. Halberds count as bladed since when? I believe they do. I mean, just take a look at the son of a gun, right? I mean, if I was a smart adventurer, I'd probably just stick them with the pointy end at the tip, but apparently we didn't go to Hydra Slaying School, and so this is my life now. Booster House should still potentially do enough damage to finish them off, and indeed it does seem to be the case. So that is perfect. You thought they were like pokies, like rapiers? Again, they should have the versatility trait and do both, but I'm not going to complain too much. Ring of Protection, I will take over evasion. Now we're sitting at 33 AC. That is fantastic. And should be able to mostly tab our way through the rest of Lair here at the very least. Again, there's something just so sweet about returning to areas of the game long after the kind of initial time frame that you'd be there has ended, and just steamrolling your way through without having to worry too much. Love to see it. But there we go, that's how we kill Hydras. That makes sense. I probably should go back to quivering just regular old stony boys. You know what, I'm glad you were not in view, because I would have just kept peppering you with shots instead of walking away, which is definitely the more intelligent decision to make. Oh, but you're gonna petrify the Death Yaks? That is a shame for our Death Yak friends. Wee bit brutal, you'd hate to see them go out like that, but it is what it is, and I'll take any advantage that's proffered to me. Oh, hello, Hydra friends. We're not using bullets anymore, and definitely not quite as heavy hitting as we were seeing earlier, but that should be just fine. Let's bring these buddies over to a slightly better situation for us. And that should be just about perfect. Ooh, Dream Sheep could have been really bad in this situation, but apparently not. We're just going to tab our way through without caring. No, that's what spears are for, though you agree that should do both, like an actual halberd, right? That's kind of the beauty of something like a halberd, is that you're getting the best of both worlds. But again, I digress, and it's a video game, so I think it gets the pass in that regard. Okay, Staff of Cold can go. We'll keep Staff of Air in case we need like a hot swap to electricity resistance, and for whatever reason don't want to use our anti-magic staff. I don't know if there exists a scenario, real or otherwise, that would justify such an action, but I'm not going to think too hard on it. Necromutation, hey? So there we go. We can maybe get to the bottom of, is Necromutation the only transmutation that's worth casting with Divine Exegesis, just because it may or may not save you from an absurd amount of torment. But there we go, we finally hit our skill caps. We're down to min delay with our halberd here, so that's fantastic. Where do we wish to go from here? I mean, there's always more evocations, there's throwing to train. Slings, I don't remember off the top of my head if Fußbaus has a different skill target for that. I guess I can turn on throwing. And let's take a peek, shall we? Oh, yeah, it's 14. How about that? Might as well train a wee bit more slings then. It shouldn't take too long to get it up to snuff. And then, on the flip side, maybe we'll turn evocations on in the background to keep that coming up and feeling good. On the other side of things, I think I will train a bit more invocations at some point here. Shoot. That's really bad. Okay, never mind. Just knock them out. And it's not a concern in the slightest. Willpower, again, is the one spot that we're still not in the best of places with. We're going to be struggling for the next little bit here still. But seems like we're at least doing okay even without it. And we do have the willpower ring, I guess, so there is that as a potential option to save ourselves from misery. We'll have to see how it all shakes out here. At least we're not fire vulnerable at all points in time anymore. Makes life a lot easier for me. On the flip side, I'd kind of like to get some source of fire resistance going. You know, if you'd be so kind, game. But it is what it is, and whatever works. I think Wand of Flame has outlived its usefulness. There's no more steamed merfolk to be had. We've eaten our fill. And there we go. Okay, that is Lair done and dusted, finally. And so, what do we wish to do next? Do we dare to try Elf? I mean, I feel slightly better about that than Depths. Vaults? Vaults is maybe doable. We have Ice resistance. We have conditional electricity resistance for the Thunder Hulks. Might run into one too many wizards down there and get ourselves a ticket directly to the Abyss without passing go, which is slightly less than ideal for sure, to say the least. Regardless, for now, we can head down to the dungeon and finish off the last floor there, and maybe that will make our decision easier. Everything will coalesce once we find an incredible artifact ring that gives me willpower and fire resistance. The best of both worlds. And we will just be swimming and feeling good. You find Thunderhawks are a lot less scary if you have decent means to kill at ranged. It's pure melee who needs to be really scared. That is fair enough, though at least if you are in melee range, they're not hitting you with the lightning, right? So I've generally found that the majority of the time I've tried to get them into that position myself. But that's interesting. Kind of wish that training with a halberd kind of got you good at axes. Oh wait, no. They do. Polearms in general cross-train with axes. Never mind, ignore me. I'm just a man slowly but surely losing his mind live on camera. Though that's just what we do every week, baby. Oh, geez. So that is a big boy right there. Well, probably just gonna run. Maybe we can let ourselves take one hit just to see how things shake out. I mean, we did break you up a bit. Oh my gosh, it's happening. The dream? And I guess I'll rephrase what I was about to say about cross-training and whatnot. I wish that halberds had some cleave damage. I don't think it's actually an appropriate option. I don't think it's necessary by any stretch. They're already quite powerful, especially on a character like this. But you know, for selfish reasons and just wanting to steamroll the dungeon without a single concern in life, it'd be kind of fun, kind of wacky. Okay, Saphir, I know we said we were going to keep you around, but guess what? I lied. It's definitely true, but they like to blink range. Oh, for sure. No, they're never quite as cut as dry as I'd like to say or think, but we'll have to see if we do end up heading down to vaults right away here. It'll be something that we'll have to contend with at the very least, one way or another. But I really really need some enchant weapon scrolls, because this halberd is on the cusp of true greatness. It's already great, but it needs that next level just to cement its role in as the goat of all weapons that you can come across in the game. Oh, wand of polymorph, sure, that's fine by me. And File Floods, we're finally getting a nice selection of evocables here, and take advantage of some of the training that we've thrown down in that department. And okie dokie, I guess that's already it. Holy moly, just blasting our way through. So the question becomes, do I try and risk Elf, feeling a little bit worse for wear, or Depths, and just hope that we don't come across too many Wizards, Thunderhulks, what have you? It's all going to be rough in its own special snowflake way. So let's check out vaults, at least see how things are looking, if it's even an option that we can contend with. Oh, that's the other part. Right. Yep. And hello, Mark. So we are marked. It seems like the majority of these monsters don't have hands, though. So heck yeah, brother. Oh, they legitimately don't. Would you look at that? Well, I could definitely take two of you, and I saw a wizard as well, which I've already shared my thoughts on the wizards. Does that make sense? Oh, you're... Gosh darn electricity. Of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? I am sorry not to have the vampiricism, but neither resistance there, and that's not too bad. Imagine this exact situation, except I had freezing cloud. Actually, this is a pretty wide open space we got going here, huh? Because we do have Divine Exegesis. And we also definitely have me some Polar Vortex. And no, I'm guessing we cannot eat through these while bluish gray metal. Let's find out. Can't dig through that. No. Vault walls. So maybe vault is actually less of a viable option than I was initially suspecting. Huh. You know what? Let's now dip our toes into elf and see if that's better or worse where it ranks here in terms of how terrified I am. I mean, that's a decent start. I'm mostly okay with all of you kiddos. I guess slightly less so. Wait, there's something... Oh my gosh. Come on, game. You know what we wanted. You know what we meant. And this is just going to be my life. Manual aiming until the end of days, huh? Oh, I don't have resistance to electricity or fire. Why did I think elf was a fun plan? Oh, geez. I mean, the anti-magic staff could become our main weapon for elf. That gives us the electricity resistance, and it actually works pretty well against the majority of the enemies that we find there. Wonder if we couldn't use another point in evocation to get D down to like 3%. Definitely is on the menu here. I think we were saying that as soon as evocations trains up a bit more, that was our next goal. But I mean, I guess everything's just kind of chugging along in its own right now, so let's just throw everything at the wall. Give it one more point and see how that goes. Because I have an inner Dwarf Fortress player who just wants to wage war in the pointy ears. When you put it that way, I mean, I don't know if I can refuse the call to action, really. We have electricity resistance and anti-magic now, and that should be enough for us to enact wonders upon the world. Okay, again, stop that. That's not who I'm aimed at, and you knew it, DCSS, you son of a gun. Just trying to embarrass me in front of my friends. Well, that's not working, so we're going to bring out the big guns here real quick. For you as well, my friends. And not too shabby. I'm probably tabbing through that slightly faster than is any way safe. But here we are. And doing alright, doing okay. Let's close that door. Hide around my corner. And you absolute fools. There we go. Now we can go back tabbing our way through. And that is not too shabby. So in general, Elf should be fairly manageable. At least the first couple of floors, we can kind of see how things are looking. If we get a better halberd, then that's going to be kind of nice for sure. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. What have we got? Torment. So what is left for scrolls? Because we just have one left. It's either brand weapon or silence. I want both of those things. I definitely want both of those things. Okay, Demonologist gets focused immediately. It's looking like we'll kill them. Perfect. And then High Priest is going to be that there next. Oh my gosh. What happened? Are you kids bouncing electrical bolts where you really shouldn't be? I feel like you are. Stop that. Stop that. You're killing all of your elemental friends. Can't be what you learned in spell school. Even though it probably is, because I'm guessing they have to be pretty cutthroat when everyone is trying to learn elven magic. Okay, so you're hasted, which means you're pretty dang fast. But you're also an idiot who loses me in the maze of doors. Perfect. Well, I will take that for sure. And then the rest of you kids, if you could all just come right this way, come one, come all, and see the show tonight. And that should be just about perfect. Can we eat these walls? Now these walls we can definitely eat. I'm feeling peckish. No, I'm sure we will find many an opportunity to dig ourselves into a kill hole or two. Ah, a box of beasts though. Now that's something I have a vested interest in. Take me back, and let's grab that son of a gun real quick. Perfect. And Pyromancers have the potential to ruin our lives, but we've been pretty lucky so far. And I'd rather be lucky than good. So I think we'll be just fine. Going through the majority of Elf here. Louise? Why did you have to make a liar out of me? I guess, okay, we can switch from protection to willpower. Then how are we looking? 4% chance of banishment. You know what? If that happens, I deserve it. Louise also blinks annoyingly, just like the rest of our elven friends, so that's perfect. Let's switch over to Vampiric Halberd to finish you off as well. And that is lovely. We'll probably even actually keep the willpower ring on instead of the protection. Plus 4 AC doesn't matter quite so much on a character like this that already has a decent set of armor on, so I think we're looking pretty hunky-dory, and we're just gonna keep going as is and feeling good about it too. Okie dokie. I mean, the Knights gave us some trouble before. It's mostly the Force Lance that's annoying because it doesn't get checked by our resistances that we're so happy to have. But not the end of the world. Grey Wizards Volume 2. Not a bad read. And you, my elemental friend, are going to be a wee bit annoying. But there we go. Trident of Venom is not exactly going to make the cut for changes here. Ooh, Amulet of Reflection is specifically nice for Elf. So that's kind of tempting to bring along. What the heck do I drop now? I guess the Ring of Protection, if we're not going to be wearing it, doesn't have much of a purpose. We could also use some of these enchant armors and then leave the rest on the floor. Mostly saving those for probably Gold Dragon Scales. Not exactly the most creative thing in the world, but it's hard to argue with those sons of guns. Oh, whoops, and I didn't actually hit enter. So let's drop that. Take this Amulet of Reflection and let's put that bad boy on. See how it goes. Have use for Torment and Vulnerability Scrolls. See, those ones very much fall into the category of me constantly being like, there's going to be a time where I'm going to wish that I had them. I'm going to use them in a fun, silly way that's going to work awesome and make me look like a 5-head genius. Does this actually happen? Pretty much never. But if it happens even one time, then what can I say? I'm a sucker for the dramatic flair. Hey, Ninth, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Lovely to see ya. Oh my gosh, it's the Mage Maulers. I mean... Huh. Currently our gloves are half decent. They're giving us poison resistance and 3 pips of positive energy. That's interesting. So, we would face potential contamination. Oh geez, it's spreading. If you could just die down real quick. Oh geez, stop that. Stop that. Does it actually trigger upon us walking closer? I'm not too sure. Let's find out. Feels slightly more random than anything else. Okay, we'll think about you and come back at a later date.